Hello and welcome to the OA Quick Step Study. My name is Pat and I am a compulsive eater and your chairperson for this workshop. Please turn off all electronics. Would all who wish to please join me in a moment of silence followed by the Serenity Prayer. God, grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change, the courage to change the things I can, and the wisdom to know the difference. Your will, not mine, be done. And my name is Pat. I'm a compulsive eater. I joined OA 30 years ago and I have 17 and a half years of abstinence. I'm about 20 pounds up from my lowest weight because I also had restricted my eating, and 20 pounds down from my highest weight. But the main change is my mental health has been much better. And I started these quick step studies because it took me 13 years in OA to start working the steps properly, to get a sponsor and work steps 1 to 12 thoroughly. I was really frightened of doing them. I dreaded doing them. And once I started doing them, I realized, hey, this is not so bad. And so I wanted to give everybody a little taste of what it's like to work the steps so that you'll be able to become willing to work the steps thoroughly with a sponsor and get the full benefit of the program. The main huge gift of this program is that I no longer have cravings most days. Most days I eat moderate, healthy meals and do not crave any extra. And I have a full, rich life instead of a full, over rich, over feeling disgusting and ashamed belly. So, welcome everybody, and it's great to be here. Please, everyone, check in on the chat. Please let us know if you're a newcomer to OA or if you're available to receive support calls or be a sponsor. Please mute yourself unless you have a question. Today we are writing and sharing about steps 4 and 5. Could I have a volunteer to read steps 4 and 5? And you can pause the screen for a minute while that happens. Thank you for reading. Everyone, especially newcomers, please be aware of your own needs. Please don't be shy. Please speak up if you have a question or a problem. Not everyone is ready to work all the steps right away. Honor your own timing. Please download the documents you need for the writing at the following address if you haven't done so already. So now is the time for writing. Please use these sample charts, and I'm going to share a different screen for that. Oops. Okay, there it is. All right. Please use these sample charts for writing out your 4th step. I recognize that time will not allow for a thorough step 4. So I suggest starting with 1 resentment and then 1 fear or 1 harm. And if there's time, choose another one. For example, you could write 1 resentment, then 1 fear, and back and forth until time is up. When writing out fears, I recommend that you write at least 1 fear of healing, fear of losing weight. Here's the fears. Fear of losing weight, fear of getting fat, fear of coping without food, fear of working the steps, fear of opening up memories, fear of getting a sponsor, and so on. There are 2 possibilities for the 3rd column of your 4th step resentment chart. Here are the 2 different resentment charts. The 3rd column here is how it affects me. which could be the instincts that are affected, or it could be this chart, which is how I felt emotionally. The first blank chart that you have on page 1 of your PDF is the Big Book method. Oh, it might not be page 1. Sorry about that. The second chart you have is the how I felt column. There are also 2 possibilities for writing out your fears. And please note that you do not fill out column 5, character defects, today. You'll do that next week. So column 5, character defects, don't do that till next week. And the same with the fears, don't do that till next week. With this first chart, the Big Book method, but with the alternate chart, you will be filling in the best possible outcome because it's not character defects. That Please note that when writing out fears or resentments, the answer to what is my part might be nothing. I was a child. I was innocent. Or I was an adult and I was innocent. There was nothing that I did that set the ball rolling. It's important to acknowledge that and write it down. However, even if you were innocent, if you are still carrying anger, fear, shame, or unhealthy behaviors as a result of the past, then that is your part. It's not your fault that you have them. It's a normal reaction to the situation, but it is your responsibility to take care of them. There's also an option of writing out a harm done to another where there was no resentment involved. So that's here. This could be a sexual harm or other harm. Step 5 is sharing your step 4. So we will do that after we finish the writing. There are no questions to write about for your step 5. We're just going to do it. Host, please post your phone number in the chat in case anyone has a question during the writing period. You may also email me, patg at pattyg123.0@gmail.com, but I may not be able to answer right away. Please come back in half an hour from the writing or whatever amount of time your group has decided. Please mute yourself while you are writing. You may also turn off the sound on your device, turn off your camera, or log out of Zoom altogether while writing, and then just log back in when you're ready to come back for the sharing. And I will post the examples again in the chart. I'll start with the resentments, and then you can switch it back and forth between the resentments and the fears as people take time to write out their resentments, fears, or other harms. Great. See the next part for the exercises and sharing and wrap up.